on the lives, experiences, and viewpoints of motherlode women, the show features a rotating cast of 4 women of all ages and from all walks of life. Quick, upbeat, and fast-paced with a variety of topics, this 1-hour show will be aired live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. Tune in, it's just between us.
And good morning. Welcome to Just Between Us, the show that tries to inspire every single one of you. We have some beautiful people here today.
Oh, thank you, Martha.
My name is Martha. I'm from Jackson, Ion.
And I'm Sandy from Jackson.
And I am Alan from Pine Grove.
And we are going to start the show by picking 2 topics.
Okay, I'm going to
You can roll.
Here.
And
Make them exciting, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, exciting. Alrighty. Yeah, okay. I got 2.
Okay.
And the first topic?
Oh, wonderful.
Number 3.
Death.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
it can only get better from there.
Exciting, okay.
So number 3.
Hey.
Okay. 3. Why do so many want to make peace with someone when they find out that person is going to die? Why wait? Shouldn't you have done this before?
Okay, next topic. Dump that one.
5.
Secret and promises.
Okay.
Do you feel that in keeping your promise to someone that without saying so you are also stating that you expect that they must do the same for you? And we will read those when we come back.
Yes, we will. We'll be right back in just a minute.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. And now back to Just Between Us.
And welcome back. We are going to get ready to read the topics. And Sandy, do us the honor.
Death.
Your favorite topic.
Well, it depends.
That's how I feel some morning. I check the obituary to make sure my name's not in it. Okay. Why do so many people, why do so many of us want to make peace with someone when they find out that person is going to die? Why wait? Shouldn't you have done that before? There's supposed to be a comma right here. You write these.
I don't write these. Well, I print them.
So anyway.
There's a difference.
So Alan, what do you think?
It really it boils down to closure. And I think it's a combination of wanting closure on both sides, but also when you're confronted with something like an imminent death, then there's also I'm trying to find the right word, there's a finality to it. You know that it's now or never, I'm never going to get another chance. It's the same kind of thing with someone who dies suddenly. You regret everything you didn't say to them.
Well, yeah, that's
But
true.
in the case of something like this, you have the time to make amends. You have the time to go
Okay,
through.
but the second part of the question is, why wait? Shouldn't you have done this before? Well,
Taking
it's usually because you're going to get pissed off at them again.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to say, Sandy, I'm a lot like you. You know, once I'm upset with somebody, oh, well, if I die, I die. If you die, you die. And that's the name of the game. You know, it's like, once I'm mad at somebody, I don't want to make peace. I'm done with you.
Yeah, it's different if it's a family member.
If it's a family member, that's different. And that sounds cold, but that's how I feel.
Well, you know, when you're younger, you have different emotions and you feel differently. When you're older, you just don't care anymore because life is way too short to sit there and worry about if somebody's going to whatever, you know. And now I have family members that when they held a grudge, you know, they held it for life and they took it to the grave with them.
Isn't that something?
I mean,
think
literally.
That's the way I am.
No.
That's the way I am.
No, well, where do you think I come from? I've got family who's still old school in Holland. I know family members who won't talk to other ones because they serve the wrong kind of beer.
Oh, well, no.
Well, hey,
there's
when it
some
comes to
situations.
beer-
There's some situations that are just too hard to take.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
and to understand and to try to negotiate with another person because you negotiate. You know, when you trying to make up with somebody, you know, and they keep, you know, bringing you just like, no.
It's like when and Alan says that even if you know somebody's going to pass away, say they have a terminal illness and stuff like that, you might be ready to make peace, but they might not.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes,
because a lot
it's
of
a two-way
times that
street.
they don't realize, or they reject the idea that they're dying, and so they're going to,
Right.
and yes, is there regrets? A lot of times,
Yeah.
there's a lot of regrets. There's a lot of regrets that sometimes if you're so angry at a person and you never tell them why you're so angry, or you don't get the
Right,
catharsis
right.
of getting it out of your system, and they die on you, and so you go to the graveside and kick the kick the stone, but. Only once. I only did that once.
And then the hauntings began, and you never did it again.
Dreams, and you keep telling them you're dead. Go away. Leave me alone. But yes, there, and I've had that. All right. I'm a bad.
I don't
person.
think I have ever regretted anything that I have ever done.
Oh, I've done some really stupid things. That I regret.
I don't think I have ever regretted, if I have not talked to somebody for a while in my lifetime, there's a good reason. And and I don't regret it because I know me. I know that it has to be a tremendous something that hurt my family, and when you hurt my family,
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
you just don't mess around with Martha Perez.
No, she'll put stuff in your food.
I
know.
Sugar in a gas tank, really?
No, Martha's got the best one that I always tell people, and that was dealing with the troubled person. Just put down the hot plate just right over the edge and don't tell them it's hot. I'm kidding. You never do anything.
No, I would never. No,
She says with that smile. Just,
that's why Martha doesn't serve anymore. Streets. No.
Yeah, too many things that got burned.
But it boils down to a closure, and you're right. Both people need to be willing to come to the table and agree to something.
But if you
sides of it.
need the closure, then talk to the person.
Yes.
And sometimes it's very hard, and it's very traumatic, and it's very emotional. And
True.
but if that's what you need.
Yes.
Because it depends on your age. When you lose somebody and you're young and you don't have that closure, it's hard.
This is
they
really,
die unexpectedly and you don't get that make that last
This is
talk.
very emotional. We have to change topics.
Yes.
We have to.
Well, like I said, going from death, it can only get better from here.
Get out of there.
Yeah.
That was not a very good topic.
Us is next.
Secret and promises.
Secret and promises.
Do you feel that in keeping your promise to someone, that without saying so, you are also stating that you expect that they must do the same for you?
An unspoken which?
Well, I guess it's a quid pro quo is what they're talking about.
Yeah,
that I keep your promise, you keep my secret.
Exactly.
That type of thing.
But do you know how many people do that? Not too many.
No,
Not too many. You tell somebody something, and you find out later that they told somebody the same thing, but they added a little something to it,
Well, it's also the joys of living in a social media age. You tell someone a secret, count how many days it'll be before it's up on Facebook.
Well, that's the thing. Actually, I heard studies being done about how, because of the social media, that everybody's lives are out there now. There is no privacy. There is no, and this is one reason why I'm not on social media. Not only that, but I have a very boring life and no one would care. But it's true. Who cares what I got up this morning? Well, there is no secrets, and a lot of people are finding out that now, and to the detriment. What you do at 18 and put it on social media, and then at 30-something it comes back to haunt you.
If you only knew how much you can find out about a person once you Google it. Oh my God!
Yeah. I mean, you Google a name,
you can find out things that they did years and years ago.
You Google my name, you don't.
Newspapers, things that have happened in your lifetime. They just you go, what?
Yeah, that's one reason I don't do social media. That and the fact that too many people have a tendency, because I don't know why, but they put way too much information, which can be used against them by criminals. Thank you very much. And and that's what, especially the young, they just don't understand that they got to share everything. I'm going,
It's like the people
Because
who,
they're young. They
Well,
don't know any better.
well, it's
Yeah,
like
so their brain cells
Well, it's
are
like
dead.
people who put a message on Facebook saying, "So excited, I leave to go on a 2-week vacation tomorrow," and then when they get home, they're
Duh.
surprised that
It's
someone
gone.
broke into their house.
Everything's gone. You
Oh
know,
yeah, by the way, this is where I live.
Yeah.
And my house has green trim and
And my neighbors are work between now and now,
yeah.
so no one.
And the dog has been boarded, so yeah. I mean, it's just.
So, but have you ever had somebody, betrayed you in a way?
If they have, I don't know about it. I could care.
Same here.
If I probably would care if I was young, high school age, or something like that. I've had people say things about me, or spread things around, or whatever.
Very few people that I ever tell things that are important to me. Because if you do tell somebody and you trust them not to tell somebody else, and then if I have a doubt in my mind, I just don't say it. Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. Yeah, you know who you should talk to and
Yes.
shouldn't talk to.
Mm-hmm.
My
Exactly.
thing is I probably could never run for political office.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of, so, I would be honest and upfront. I'm not embarrassed by a lot of the stuff I've done. Well, yeah, I am.
Oops.
But I'm not,
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
going to deny it.
Uh-huh.
Let's put it this way. I won't deny it.
Everybody has skeletons in
Oh,
their
yeah.
closet.
Oh yes, some of them
Everybody.
quite literally.
Yes.
Yeah, literally,
Yeah.
yeah. But, it's part of being human.
Right.
Yep,
exactly.
And everybody has, frailties in their nature and stuff. So we do.
But I'm trying to think of anybody saying something that I told them
In confidence?
In confidence, and I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
You
Yeah,
know,
same
I
here.
don't-
If they
someone
said
did
it, I don't.
know.
I don't hear. I'm sitting up on top of my hill. I don't know where half of the stuff is going
Yeah,
on.
if
anymore.
same with me. If anyone's
It's-
done that with me, I don't
mean,
know
it's
about it.
different. This is living in this county or in this part of the state is so different than living in Southern California,
Yeah.
where everybody gossips. Everybody in the neighborhood knew what the other neighbor was doing. It was just like that was their social pastime, and where everybody, place, where I used to work, it just leaked like a sieve. That's,
Well, here in Amador County, very few things happen, and when they happen, they're like huge.
Everyone knows about it.
Everybody knows
Yeah.
about
Oh,
it,
yes.
well, yeah, and plus I don't take the local newspaper. No offense,
I-
but I mean, so I don't know what's going on even in the county.
But, I would like, last week, when these two guys that escaped Mule Creek.
Oh yeah.
And this old man was the one that arrested them. I was like, wow, that was great. Good for him. So let's pick up a couple of more topics,
Yes.
and
One should be a free for all
one should be a
and a
free-for-all.
free for all. Yes.
And the first
And-
topic,
Number 2.
The neighbors.
okay, and number 2.
Is your neighborhood like many? There is always one couple or one person that ruins it for the rest.
Okay, I don't want to ruin it for us, but
You want me to choose another
right.
one?
Yeah, we'll do the other topic when we come back to.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. And now back to Just Between Us.
And welcome back to Just Between Us. And Cindy, what is our topic?
The neighbors. Is your neighborhood like many? There is always one couple or one person that ruins it for the rest.
Well, I don't have to worry about that. I live up in the country where
Yeah.
I have no neighbors but cows,
Well,
I go out and I yell at them, get the heck out of here, don't eat my veggies.
Well, for me, when it came to neighbors, it was not so much now, but when I was still in school, living in the dorms, I certainly had more than a few who were.
well, yeah.
And I'm talking people. Well, A good example was there was the dorms and there was off-campus housing. There were people who were everything was fine for everyone on campus housing, and then somebody burnt down their home with a homemade flamethrower. And the person who did it was an illegal leaser who was another student who wasn't on the lease, so people couldn't recover stuff. And that led to massive changes for the off-campus housing requirements.
What school?
Cal State Monterey Bay.
Oh.
Yeah, which was fun because it was the old military housing.
Oh,
On Fort Ord. But even when I was in the dorms themselves, I got to deal with people who at 3 a.m. would skateboard up and down the hallways.
Oh, wow.
I had people who would open bags of top ramen and throw them at each other's doors.
It's like, actually, my favorite movie is Real Genius, where they sit there and they change everything in molecular and make an ice skating rink down the hallway. But, I had in one neighborhood where I lived, I had a couple behind me that were a little, but then I threatened INS on them and they left me alone.
Gee.
Well, when I still...
Well, actually, it was amazing how fat, they weren't Hispanic, they were Asian.
No. Well, when I was still living in
they were eyeing my cats like food. No.
Well, when I was still living in the Bay Area, when I didn't have any friends growing up, so by default I would hang out with the boy who lived next door. But when I got to high school, I made all these friends, and he got ticked off that I was no longer hanging out with him. So whenever I had my friends over to swim in the backyard, he would start throwing garbage over the fence into our pool. And then we found out, when I was a junior in high school, he began breaking into houses around the neighborhood and robbing us.
Well, that was...
Wow.
Yeah, in our case, the house, at the time, he crawled through the doggy door. And the dog knew him because he would pet sit for us, so the dog didn't act up. And he stole jewelry from my mom, a pocket watch that belonged to my great-grandfather. He just took a lot of stuff from the
living
house.
up here in the country is kind of different
than
living in the city.
Yes.
Living in the city is more like right here.
Yes, so 10 feet apart.
And up here, at least most of the
Yeah, you've got
homes, the ones
space.
you've got little space, and you have more room to...
Yeah. My neighborhood's really nice. All the houses are nice. Of course, I have the biggest...
Like
I have
5 acres minimum?
1 to 5, and I
1 to
have
5.
15, so I'm way up there.
Yeah.
I have no one around me.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
I have been to locations where in certain states you drive through a really nice neighborhood, you have a nice house, and then you have trailer park
Yes. Wow.
just trashed out. I mean, and it's like, okay, but when you're in a planned neighborhood or something, and now like in Southern Cal, they have literally planned communities where the whole thing is all encompassed. Where I used to live in Santa Clarita down there near Magic Mountain, the whole valley was a planned community.
Yeah.
It was just, but it was different neighborhoods.
But have you ever lived somewhere where your neighbors made it miserable for you?
Oh, yes. Yeah, when I was a kid.
Only in some circumstances.
It was when I was a kid, when the neighborhood started changing, as the original people either moved or died away or died out, and then new people started coming in, and they didn't have the same value system as the people that lived there, like in the 50s and when the 60s, and the neighborhoods would change dramatically. And I mean, that's when you seriously think of moving, because you're getting break-ins and stuff. It's just the whole concept would change. And you see that a neighborhood gets old and people move away, and the people who come in...
And time changes.
Time changes, yeah.
Like with me, it was my poor neighbors. I felt so bad for them because I had this big, huge, old Victorian house right on Broadway here in Jackson. And my neighbors were a little older, and I had 9 children. So, either I torture my poor neighbors.
9 kids?
Well, 3 were mine and 6 were adopted. But, they all had their own thing going. Sometimes they were washing a car, were cleaning, or they had music going, or they'd be playing outside, or, I always
you
had
could have
phone
got dogs
calls.
or cats.
Yeah.
Well, I just look at this one, though. in the back of my mind, I'm kind of thinking, yes, some people have bad neighbors to deal with, but think of it like this: if we didn't have bad neighbors, I wouldn't be able to go home and watch Judge Judy every week. Without bad neighbors, court TV would go away, and then me and my mom would not be happy.
What is going to be our free-for-all?
Free-for-all? I don't know. You guys.
No, we had talked about when do you think summer officially starts for you?
Well,
Because we're kind of starting, we're getting there soon.
just this morning, I was like, I already put all my winter clothes away, okay? I wake up and, because I didn't see the news last night, I was just too busy, to see the news. I wake up this morning, well, last night when I came home, it was raining, so I knew I had to be prepared. So I prepared last night, but I wake up and it was raining and raining.
Well, when we first moved up here, old timers say don't expect the weather to change until after the Italian picnic parade, because they said if they've seen it snow almost down to the Italian picnic parade,
And when will that be? June?
June's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first weekend
First
in June.
weekend in
June, yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's also just going to be crazy the next few days because we're getting rain and some snow higher up country right now, but next week it's going to be 90 degrees.
I know, and then with possibility of more rain. We had an early spring because everything bloomed early this
Yes,
year, and then
yes.
I get these emails from my cousin in Chicago, and they're saying we're brushing off the snow off our cars. I'm like, I wrote her an email back saying, send us the snow, give us the water you guys have.
Well, those are some of my favorite Facebook posts over the last couple of months. That was reading the posts from Donna in Washington, D.C. every time the storm came. It's happy and sunny, and no, it's snowing, make it stop.
It's time for the cherry blossoms, and I was wondering, I have a beautiful cherry tree, double blossom cherry tree.
I think that already happened.
Ours is just starting to bloom, and I'm thinking, God, in D.C., because I've been in D.C. at the cherry blossom time, and it should be coming up, and I'm sitting there going, are they even leafing out yet over there, because it's been cold.
Yes, it has.
Yeah,
it really
yeah.
has. Our weather has been bipolar.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Our weather is so bipolar
Oh,
because
yes.
one day it's so hot and then the next day it's raining.
I know, and cold again. I mean, it's...
How does that happen?
I love it when in summertime, when the Delta breeze comes in and cools everything down,
Oh,
But,
yeah. Well, they having the asparagus festival,
I love it.
And it's raining down there, but people are still
Where
going to
is it?
come.
Where is it? Down in Stockton?
Stockton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere in Stockton. But it's like, oh my God, I wanted to go so bad, but now that it's raining, I don't want to drive
Yeah,
all
but
the way
tomorrow
down
it's supposed to be nice, and like Alan said, in the middle of next week, I saw the temperatures are going to be
It's
in
gonna be
the
like 90
high
degrees.
80s. Yeah.
How much
So,
time do I have?
time to spray your Roundup.
This is us.
I wanted to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be going to San Jose.
Oh, fun.
Yes, I'm doing the walk for Brian Stowe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
Brian.
we honor him by,
Nice.
doing a little fundraiser, and then we do like a mile walk, and we all get together and with his family and just bring food and
Very fun. Yeah,
drinks and everything.
We're keeping it simpler. My brother has to drive my parents' truck back up here, so he's staying the night, and we're just going to go out to dinner and just hang out tonight. Go see if I can convince him to watch a bad horror movie with me. 'Cause you have to remember something about my brother. This is somebody who failed high school Spanish, but at the same time was fluent in Klingon.
well, interesting.
I can't think of. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I just watched. One of the old Star Trek movies.
So the weather.
Yes.
So the weather. Let's go back to our topic.
Well, it's just going to be crazy.
It's a free for all.
It's a free for
gonna
all.
be
Let's talk about
crazy.
anything,
Yeah, just
anything that we want to talk
Pops into
about.
our brains, that can actually be a little scary.
Especially with me on the panel.
No, see, Alan and I, we're into.
We're geeks.
We're geeks, and we're into sci-fi and all that stuff.
And Martha's sitting here going,
Like
why
that.
did I get on this?
I'm old enough to be an original Trekkie, okay? Not only that, but Roddenberry went to my high school. So,
Good. Well,
It's all in good
I'm just
fun.
looking forward to that it doesn't rain tomorrow when I'm walking for a mile.
Well, I will
Should
say.
be nice, doesn't
Well,
it?
I will say this much: we have a dog in the house now. After my grandmother passed away, we took in her dachshund Amanda, and this is a dog who came from Pleasanton to Amador County. So not only do we get to see this dog go nuts when a deer walks by, but she is not used to rain as hard as it does up here. So she will start burrowing under anything. And don't get me started about what happens when she starts to hear thunder and lightning.
Oh, poor
she
babies.
just takes
All of them
off.
do. All of them do that.
But
My
she-
dog used to do that. I
but
used to
she's-
bring her inside
she's a good dog,
whenever
though.
it thundered, because I wasn't going to let her stay
But
outside.
it's also kind of the same with anybody. I mean, we had one. You want to talk about crazy weather? We had we were visiting family in Holland one summer, and they didn't have enough rooms for me in the house, so I slept in a aluminum camper in the driveway. And then a lightning storm came through, and they were worried I was going to wake up and try and walk outside of a metal structure in the middle of a lightning
We need
storm.
Okay,
more
let's
topics.
pick up a couple of more
Last
topics.
two.
We have one more free for all,
And what is
and
last?
gifts.
See, I told you we could only go up from death.
Yeah.
2.
Do you feel that we do too much gift giving?
Oh,
Okay.
let me give you a little gift. Let's go for a little break and come back and we'll talk about this interesting topic.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
I thought of another.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage.
It's that time of year again.
And welcome back to Just Between Us. And we're going to keep on going. We're going to read some topics. I'm going to reintroduce ourselves. I'm Martha.
I'm Sandy.
I'm Alan.
And the topic is
Gifts. Do you feel that we do too much gift giving?
sometimes we think that by buying gifts to the kids that, they'll do better in school. They'll, promising them to do things for them and giving them too much. And then I think kids need to learn to earn,
Yeah.
Yes.
instead of just giving it to them
yeah.
just because you have the money.
Well, the thing is that when I was a kid growing up, I was an only child. My parents came through the Depression. Okay, and so and all their friends had no children. So basically, I got a lot of stuff.
Oh my God.
And my birthday is 1 month after Christmas.
Wow.
So a lot of times when I was real little, the Christmas gifts got rewrapped for birthday gifts. Till I
Yes.
started going, wait a minute, this was
Yeah.
familiar. But I at least played with all my stuff because also I was an only child, the youngest on the block. So I played a lot by myself, and so I at least used the things I got. However, I remember my cousins as I got older because I was one of the oldest. We go back and visit them in Chicago. Every time their mother went out, well, what did you bring me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she had 3
exactly.
kids.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That can get, and she didn't have the money. I don't remember saying that to my mom.
There's something that comes to mind. Every time that I go somewhere, people expect me to bring them something. Like, let's say I go on a cruise, okay? Everybody that I know expects me to bring them something. And I finally came to my senses where I said, why do I have to bring it? And so now I tell them, okay, I'm going somewhere, blah, blah, blah. If you want me to bring you something, give me some money and I'll get it for you.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly.
But I agree with you. Kids should, I think when you get too much, I had a relative that would, at Christmas time, go crazy, buy her kids everything they wanted. And of course, they would wrap it up and go, and lose interest. And with 5 minutes, she took it all back.
Wow.
She was one of those people that would buy and take back to the stores all the time till they finally caught on and banned her from the stores. Literally, because she would do it so often. She would buy clothes, wear it once, and take it back.
Wow.
I mean, that's, I think this is a little tacky, but, but she would spend
little.
a bundle. She had 3 kids, and she would just spend a bundle. I mean, they didn't have the money. I mean, she would just spend a bundle on money.
But I'm sorry, Alan.
Oh, no, go ahead. No, I was just going to say, Sandy reminded me, when me and my siblings were growing up, my mom worked as a preschool teacher, and most of the parents that had kids in her class worked at the big chain department stores in the Bay Area. So when Christmas came around, the super popular toys, my mom would just say to a parent who was a manager at one of the stores, "Hey, my son wants these Power Rangers. Put them away for me. I'll come pick them up when no one's looking." And she would get everything on her list because she had. I described it as my mom had connections when it came to the toys and stuff. Yeah. But when we got older, you see the transition. I mean, one of the joke gifts that my dad gives my mom every year is corn cob holders. Every year she gets corn cob holders.
There's a secret behind that.
And every year I get wrapped up a box of pudding. Snack packs. I just get my snack packs every year.
When I was a kid, I asked for a Tiny Tears doll, which was very popular in the early 50s, was a Tiny Tears doll. I got a knockoff. I never asked for another gift.
Really?
Never.
Really?
I was not a doll person. I prefer cap guns. Actually, Annie Oakley was popular. Dale Evans was popular. I wanted a cap gun.
With my kids, yeah.
But that was the only doll I've ever asked for in my life, was a tiny, and I got a knockoff, and my mom would buy me all these dolls, but I wasn't allowed to play with them because they were
collectible?
They weren't Madame Alexander's, but they were similar to Madame Alexander's, and so I was never allowed to play with them, but she loved dolls. I could care less, I prefer stuffed
animals. But most of my kids, I made them earn whatever they wanted.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And they learned that, no matter what they said, I'm the type of person that I say, no, it's no.
Yeah,
how many ways can I say no?
Exactly.
And they would drill me and drill me and drill me and drill me. And I never break my promises. If I say no, it's no. If I tell you yes, it's yes.
It never hurts to put into a kid's mind at a very early age, cause and effect. If you do good, you get a reward. If you do bad, you don't get it.
Exactly.
Or if you do bad, you're going to lose.
I don't think parents now know the difference.
Well, parents now are focused on being a friend instead of a parent.
Isn't that something?
It's like when the kid turns 16, they automatically think, well, I should have a car.
Yes, exactly.
Go get a job and buy yourself car insurance.
Exactly. I had a car when I was in high school, but my car was conditional on me meeting a certain grade point average and me paying for my own insurance and everything that went along with it.
Yeah, it's like, I remember once one of my stepdaughters came, asking money for college, and my theory is if you want to go to college, you work for it. Mm-hmm. It's not a right. It's a privilege to go to college. And we decided we would at least pay for the books. Well, gee, Mom, Dad, all the other kids are parents. I says, that's nice.
That's too bad.
That's too bad. We'll pay for your books, and that's it.
Right.
You figure out how the rest of it goes.
That's right.
That's why it's called student loans.
And that's how they learn to, to be responsible. Because if somebody gives you everything, you don't appreciate it as much as if you learn to earn it. Do we have another topic?
It's a free-for-all.
It's a free-for-all?
Free-for-all.
So who is going to...
We're just having fun going in all these different tangents.
Yeah.
I think
a free-for-all is just that. It's a free-for-all. So I'll start it off since we're going into the summer. Any summer movies you're looking forward to?
Godzilla.
Oh, thank you for saying it instead of me. I am so looking forward to Godzilla.
Wait, I'm still waiting I still want to see. I haven't seen the Avengers movie, which I can't see the second. I can't see the second.
You cannot see Captain
America 2 until I see the Avengers.
Actually, the Marvel.
It's bad enough watching Marvel's.
The Marvel one, I am looking more for. I'm really looking forward to Captain America 2, but the Marvel one I am really looking forward to is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that one I saw the previews on that.
Because I'll say this.
I know you're not into that. I know.
Martha, this is all you need to know about Guardians of the Galaxy. One of the characters
is a
talking foul-mouthed raccoon with an assault rifle.
Oh my God!
That's all you have to know.
It was a tree stump.
And is this for children? Is these movies for children?
Well, it's for a certain age bracket.
It's PG-13.
Oh my God!
The reason I love the trailer, the song "Hooked on a Feeling."
Yes.
They do that song in this, so the whole trailer starts with ooga chaka, ooga chaka, ooga chaka. And it's all tied timed out perfectly.
But
That's crazy.
but the new Godzilla's.
Looks. Well, what I like about the new one is they're paying homage to the originals.
Yeah,
In the trailer, you hear them say, the narrator says in reference to, Godzilla, in the 1950s in Japan, we found something.
Yeah.
So, and the first Godzilla movies were in the 1950s.
The only thing is that they don't have Raymond Burr in this one.
Yeah.
But who was cut in? Okay,
I know they cut him in.
They cut him into to make it an American movie.
Can we talk about something that I understand?
Okay, Martha, which ones are you looking forward to anything this summer? Movies, vacation, anything?
I would love to go on vacation. Usually, I love to go camping for my birthday. I
remember I ran up to.
Yeah, I love just going up there into nature.
I don't camp in tent things. No. Motorhomes maybe. I've gotten out of the tent.
Yeah. Well, Mary and I are planning our little working vacation, but we're going back to the convention we went to last year in Seattle.
Oh, well,
we're going to drive again, but the convention it's 4th of July weekend, so it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to leave Wednesday afternoon and drive like 5-6 hours to get to Northern California, stay the night, and then drive the rest of the way to Seattle the second day instead of being crazy and doing the entire drive in one day like we did last year.
Well, you can make it from here to Eugene in 10 hours.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So,
but
Eugene's actually a nice town.
Well, we had a blast at this convention last year. It was so much fun.
I would love to go rent a motorhome and just drive.
Oh,
yes. Look at the prices that they rent those. Those motorhomes are awful expensive.
Really?
Well, as far as driving, Mary and I have mapped out our dream American vacation, and it's a fun, weird kind of one.
I always would like to know somebody that has been through it, and what's the best way to travel.
Well, let me tell you, if you go I-40, be prepared to hit every frickin' trucker you ever met, and if you have California plates, they literally try to cut you off. I have never seen the rudest truckers as I seen when we drove all I-40 cross country.
Well, when we were driving back from Seattle last year, we had a trucker on the side of us, and he blew a tire that was right next to us as we were driving down. We just heard a bang.
Well, he didn't do that on purpose.
Oh, no, he didn't do it on purpose.
I was just surprised how many truckers just cut right in front of you, and they're on a cell phone. They're yakking away. They have an earplug, and they're yakking away. And it's like, I actually did call the freaking number on the back of the truck to report.
I've called the numbers a few times.
Sandy.
Well, I got pissed off because they literally, we had to hit the brakes. But
maybe it's not what I used to think, to take a trip anymore. Maybe
one of my dream vacations would be go up to Glacier National Park.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've never been to there.
The one that Mary and I have mapped out that we think would be fun is to do a cross-country trip probably in early to mid-October, but map out the big cities and go to all the really big haunted houses.
Oh, wow.
Around Halloween.
Go into the south because
they have a ton. South and the East Coast. Go to the really good haunted hay rides outside of Sleepy Hollow and everything.
Yeah.
And that would be a fun trip for us.
Show. I like Sleepy Hollow.
I tried. I prefer Grimm.
Oh, I like Grimm.
I like Mary.
There we go again. We're going.
We threw Martha out again.
I'm going to take control of this.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. And now back to Just Between Us.
And welcome back to Just Between Us. We're getting ready to talk about the hot topic.
Yes.
Alan is going to do us the honors.
Sandy and I were talking. We got a little conversation
about
this.
This is crazy. I'm going to let them do this one.
We've all talked about issues with video games in the past. Mm-hmm. Well, there was a situation where you had two people playing a Call of Duty video game online together, and one guy won, one guy lost. The person who lost called the local police department of the person who won and reported a murder in progress.
Where was this at?
It was in Massachusetts.
Yeah, and
I think it was in Massachusetts,
And
or
as a re-
Boston, I think, or
and
somewhere
as
up
a-
in that area.
And as a result of calling the police and saying there's a murder in progress, this person has a gun and just killed my mom and dad.
Oh my
There
God.
were 40 SWAT officers that broke down this other person's door, and now they're looking for the one who called the police because they want to bring him up on charges.
Wow. Well, how stupid
They
is
should.
that?
No, but this
You
is
know.
a phenomenon. This is not the first case. It's called, they actually have a name for it, and that this has happened to other police agencies where somebody loses on an on-game program.
Yeah, an online game.
Online game, and it's called the winner's hometown and reports a crime in progress. And this
Oh
is
my
this is a
God.
phenomenon, and they don't realize, or they should realize, but they don't realize when you have deploy. Not only do you have all the SWAT officers, you have all the other officers on the perimeter, that possibly
to contain everything.
contain and everything, and it's a lot of
I look
money.
at life anymore and I think I'm so glad I'm on my way out because that so much is happening that is really scary. I keep thinking about the future and what our children are going to be like when they become adults. And that's really scary. All you see the kids is playing all these little games, and parents don't play with their children as much anymore. I'm so proud of all the parents that still take their kids to the games
course,
and they
that's-
take time to be with their
Ex-
kids and
ex-
do
ex-
things,
exactly, that's-
But a lot of parents, they chase, here,
Well, okay.
Play this game.
It's kind of this isn't the technology thing. Ask somebody if you're willing to give up your iPhone or eat.
oh, wow.
Yeah, and a lot of people would rather give up food.
So, yeah.
There was a great video that got released where it was children between the ages of 8 and 10, and they handed them a Walkman and said, "What do you think this does?" And none of the kids knew what a Walkman was or how it worked.
Wow.
No, they had never seen one before.
I'll give them a transistor radio and see what happens.
yes.
I remember when transistor radio, and thought that was the greatest thing since hash, because it was small, it was portable, you could take it to the
exactly.
beach. I mean,
But when it comes to something like this situation, that's just, we were talking before about the whole cause and effect thing. This is somebody who doesn't understand that concept. It's somebody who, it's my way or the highway, and I'm going to stamp my feet and pout if I don't if I don't get my
So
way.
Yeah.
this game
And it's
that
a
you
game.
guys,
It's a
this
game.
game
It's
that
a
you guys
game.
are
It's a
talking
game.
about is like, what's the point? What's the point?
well, people rack up points. I don't know what, personally, I don't play the games because I
No.
don't have great hand-eye coordination,
No,
so I wouldn't be good at it.
The way that this game is set up, you're right, you do gain points as you do better and win more in matches, and as you gain points, you unlock more stuff that can be used in the game.
Yeah,
So
they're
like
called
experience.
gamers, and it's
Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm a gamer
but it's
myself. I enjoy my games.
It's you play against an unknown person out there, and a lot of times, some of them have avatars, which you don't even. I mean, you don't know who you're playing against on the average. They usually give names that they title themselves and stuff like that. And there's tons of these games out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's.
Well, it's a bigger industry now than the film industry.
Oh yeah,
it's huge.
and I mean the graphics and stuff in these gamers are. I mean, it's almost better than some of the films, but these people get so wrapped up into them, they literally becomes their life. They live through these games.
But that is not something that is exclusive to games. Everybody can have an obsession. I know people who get so obsessed with things like knitting that
Well,
knitting becomes their
yeah,
life.
But
Or
listen,
cats.
knitting, you're sitting there and you're viewing the real world. You're
And
not
you're
inside
not-
an imaginary world.
Right.
But
right.
again, but in other cases, it may not be a game that's the imaginary world. When the internet came around, before internet gaming, there were people who were just obsessed with their computers. Taking it apart and putting it back together. That had nothing to do with the game.
Well, yeah, and
And that was putting yourself. Even going back to my convention mindset, there's people who take part in an activity called LARPing, which is live action role play where they're wearing the costumes and make foam weapons. There's people where that's their entire life.
There
That's
have been
entering a
studies-
fantasy world.
There
that has
have
nothing
been
to do with
studies
it.
about when children are playing these games and how it works in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And every child is different. Every
No,
adult is different,
exactly.
and it affects you in different ways.
Exactly, but
you
the
know?
As long as you can
So-
separate the real world from your fantasy world and go back
Exactly.
into the real world
Exactly.
and be able.
But-
Some people,
But
some of these loners out there can't make that transition back into the real world.
situation with the loners, there's a lot more going on than just video games.
Well, this
so to
is
say
true.
that video games are the sole cause for
And
this
I don't think that all loners are the same, okay?
exactly.
Because
Exactly.
there's different people.
Exactly.
And I know loners that are just really nice people.
Yeah, exactly. Just leave them and let them do their own thing.
We are going to take a little break and we'll be right back.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. And now back to Just Between Us.
And welcome back to Just Between Us. We are going to wrap this up, baby. But at the meantime, if you want to find out a little bit more about our schedule, you can go to TSPNTV.com and you can find out, the whole schedule for our channel here. Also, if you need to call us, you can call 223-4877. If you need to fax us, you can fax us at 223-4866, or you can email us at bookme@tspn.com. God, I'm not really good with that.
You're
like
fine.
Susie, we miss you, Susie Miller. A shout out to Donna Lyons too.
Oh,
so
yes.
we miss her too. So anyway,
Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap up that topic with one of my favorite
Of course.
quotes as far as video games having an impact on stuff. If video games affected their people's behavior, then how come we don't have 30 million people as farmers because so many people play Farmville?
I never even heard of Farmville.
Farmville is an insanely popular farm game on
Really?
like, Facebook and stuff. It's
Uh-huh.
got tens of millions of people, but those tens of millions of people don't go out and
All I
become
do is
farmers
play
all the time.
solitaire on the computer.
I could never get into
And I play by myself. I don't even like playing
I don't
with
have
other
time.
people.
I play one little game, and that's it. And not very much because I don't have the time.
I don't even have
I don't
a
have the time.
tablet. I have a laptop. I don't even have an iPhone. I have a flip
Oh
phone.
no! In my case, I kind of keep up on it because Mary and I make stuff that we sell at
Well, I think
conventions that are based on the
you
games.
have to keep some sanity, though.
Oh, yes.
You can't
Yeah, no,
overdo
exactly.
anything. Anything that
Exactly.
we overdo is going to.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
know.
you can OD on television. I mean,
Oh, yes.
like me, which has my constant
I'm.
news station.
I can hardly wait till I retire so that I can start watching movies.
Okay. Well,
you know.